Legendary Canadian journalist Malcolm Gladwell is back with an unexpected twist in his bibliography. Why unexpected? Don't worry, folks. Hold your horses, cool your jets, and keep your arms and legs in the ride at all times. I'll get right to that. What is this book? What's it about? What's so special about it? Let's talk about it. Just a quick disclaimer for what you'll find in the description. There are affiliate links, and if you buy anything through those links, like maybe this book, then I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos. You can also find this book and many others on my Amazon storefront. And chances are, if there are any other books that I mentioned in this video, I have reviewed them, and I will drop links to those reviews in the description. So affiliate links, Amazon storefront, and other reviews. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and I want to make self-growth normal, because people shouldn't have to look this information up. It should just be mainstream knowledge. If you agree, then please make sure to smash that like button. Color me biased, but Malcolm Gladwell is my favorite nonfiction author. Not just because of his crystal clear articulation and storytelling prowess, but the biggest thing that separates him from other authors, I think, is the way that he takes traditional knowledge, flips it on its own head, and says, how is this even possible? No one does this quite like him. Some people get kind of close. Charles Duhigg, I see you in the back, but not quite like him. That being said, for those who don't know, in 2000, he published a book called The Tipping Point, about what causes epidemics of change and what causes things to go viral in social settings. Now, every morning when I wake up, I take a moment to just look at the upcoming Audible releases. What's coming up, right? And a few days ago, I saw something called Revenge of the Tipping Point. What on earth does this mean? For Malcolm Gladwell to put together some sort of a formal sequel to one of his pieces, for him to do this, especially almost 25 years after his first book, seems pretty monumental. To a longtime fan of his especially, I really hope others feel the same about this, because I'm pretty darn pumped. So in this video, I'm going to go over the Audible description. I'm going to offer some thoughts on it. After all, I am a book reviewer, and I will be reviewing this as soon as it comes out, and I'll also drop a link to that review in the description too. And also, when the heck does this thing come out? So let's go over all that. Why in the late 1980s and early 90s did Los Angeles become the bank robbery capital of the world? I've never heard anyone say anything about this. Yet I can guarantee you he will effortlessly unpack a completely true story about it. What is the magic third, and what does it have to do with racial equity? What do big cats and clusters of teen suicide have in common? Sounds to me like just a big bucket of Gladwell's Believe It or Not, right? These are just some of the questions Malcolm Gladwell addresses in his provocative new work, which revisits the phenomenon of social epidemics and examines the ways in which we have learned to tinker with and shape the spread of ideas, viruses, and trends, sometimes with great success, sometimes with disastrous consequences. This really makes you wonder what kind of topics he's going to tackle. We might even see some of his more political side, like we saw here and there in Talking to Strangers. Gladwell shows that whether in neighborhoods, schools, zoos, or conference rooms, today's epidemics are turbocharged versions of their earlier counterparts, and we are more tempted than ever to try to manipulate tipping points for our own ends. Yet these efforts often come at a cost, creating difficult trade-offs and unexpected dilemmas. Okay, I have to hear some more examples of this for sure. Above all, we must recognize our responsibility as individuals and as a society to take tipping points seriously if we want to change our world for the better. I had a feeling this is the direction that the description was heading in, after acknowledging the benefits and dangers of not the tipping point, but just using the tipping point itself as a means to an end. With this thought-provoking new book, his most personal yet, he's not known to talk much about himself in his books, really at all. It happens, but it's very rare. Malcolm Gladwell gives us the insights we need to meet these challenges in innovative ways. The one part of this that really stood out to me, the whole thing, was when they brought up the actual uses of the tipping point for selfish purposes. The tipping point is known really primarily as like a concept in society, at least amongst the people who are familiar with it. But to use it, I mean, is this just confirmation bias and using online search results to just prove yourself right in a conversation? Or is it deeper and darker than that? Is it a little bit of like, you know, privacy and misinformation and the misuse of like data to convince people of things that could potentially harm them? I really don't know. I wonder what kind of ethos this book is going to project and what kind of place it'll take in his bibliography. It certainly does not sound like at all like the type of place that The Tipping Point will take. I'd say it may come off as the complete opposite based on all this info alone. alone. But when does this book come out? Revenge of the Tipping Point comes out in hardcover, Audible, and Kindle formats on October 1st, 2024. So mark your calendars, folks. That is what we know so far about Revenge of the Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell's newest book coming up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe. Most of my videos are book reviews, and those are like 10-15 minutes each. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.